Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. I begin every day with some kind of reminder about the importance of positive thought, PMA, positive mental attitude, and the affirmations which can flow from that mindset. Remember, to affirm anything simply means to say it is so. So you can make negative affirmations, but that really doesn't serve you or the world at large. And I know that since there's so much suffering, and wherever you look, you could say shadow energy comes up to greet us, both personal, ancestral, cultural, global. It's hard to say, and this is the way to have fun. But joy is also a legitimate human experience. And so we have the human right to, whatever extent we can, be alive and be happy about it and find the joy that is there to be found. So the first key is to remember that whatever you give your attention to, the law of attraction is going to help to be more. And so for me, I always say that relationship is the yoga of the West. Interpersonal relationships have great value for me. It really infuses me with life, and I hope that I infuse life to other people also. So I experience that truth, and I try to impart it to other people. I build bridges between myself and other people to show them I'm on their side, or at least that we are connected. And because I believe anything that I decide to do, if I'm connected to spirit or the source of my own existence, it happens easily for me, or much easier, much more easily than if I wasn't connected to spirit. So part of that means that on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, I reach for the best feeling thoughts I can find. In fact, as much as possible, I go on a rampage of appreciation. The attitude of gratitude is what they call it. And then life has a lot of fun connected to it. So I hope you share that with me and figure this out in the way you use your own thoughts to affirm your life. Now, although I did say there is more fun to be had, for most people, love is a fantasy. It's not all fun. It's not a cakewalk in the open field. The value of love is unquestioned, but it doesn't stand alone, which is why I often talk about the other archetypes, but the king and queen, the nature of your inner ruler to decide, your inner wise person, the person that sees and knows, and your inner warrior, the person who's going to act and embody it, boots to the ground, based on the values that you think are significant. So I like to talk about the trickster energy, another archetype. It's the part of you that in a certain way has defiance against any natural restraint. We all want to be free, and we don't want anybody like shackling us. Although first we should understand there's an inner saboteur, and we shackle ourselves often. So the trickster represents also oppositional energy or adversarial energy, something that's a contrarian. And because of that, in yoga at least, and certainly Zen, but not so much in the Judeo-Christian Islamic impulse control system, there's something divine about irreverence. But for the systems that take themselves too seriously, they don't want you poking fun at them. They don't want you to see through their pomposity and arrogance. And that's what the trickster does. It calls bullshit. It has a bullshit indicator, and that doesn't fly. Or other times I say the part of the trickster that is like the jnana yogi and really sees, it knows that the certain points of view are obviously bankrupt, and that's not the way to look or think or act. So you got to get to a critical level. The trickster is also the one that is a critique, sees critically, tears things apart, not to just be a deconstructionist, but to see through arguments that are false. And so I can only ask you, with your trickster applying the critical edge, what makes you proud to be a man, a woman, a transgender person? Who do you think of when you're in a tight spot? So remember that your sustained imagery, the thoughts you continue to bring into your head and talk about, can foster illness or healing. It's really up to you. So I hope that you all find your way to have an encounter at the edge because change doesn't come from the center of the culture. The status quo wants to stay the same. It comes from the marginalized aspect. So the boundary where everything that's ordinary stops and the new potential, the artist in you, begins. So experience irreverence in the right way. And it's really tough in a day and age where we're uber cautious about being politically correct and not offending anybody, the power of free speech to say what you want, and yet how there's unintended consequences for that. But nonetheless, look at the trickster stories, mythologically speaking. They're the ones that teach you how to cut through, break through, and find your own holy irreverence. Remember that Wednesday, I'm doing my next Good Vibrations class on Honor the Present. So please join us. Check out my website, gabrielhalpern.com. You'll find a way to link to that and also the other programs that are coming up in the future. All right? Hope you have a great day and have fun with your trickster.